So as for the agenda, item 66, we need to agree to resolve to elect a chair of the committee for this one meeting.
I propose Rick.
Second.
All in favour? Passed. Okay. Item 67, apologies for absence. To receive and accept apologies where valid reasons for absence have been given to the clerk prior to the meeting. Do we have any apologies?
Yes, we do, from Sophia, who was unable to attend. Acceptable reasons.
Okay, thank you. Item 68, to receive any declarations of interest in accordance with the requirements of the Localism Act 2011 and to consider any requests for dispensations in respect of pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest in any gender items. I have none.
No, none.
None either.
Item 69, to resolve to approve as a correct record in the notes of the meeting of the committee held on the 1st of November and to authorise the chair to sign the official minutes.
Propose.
Seconded.
Thirded. Can I borrow a pen? Thank you. I'm not signing one of them.
Sorry?
Do I not have to sign one of them?
Sign all the... sign
That's
each
initials. Just initials.
page. That's all it says on there.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't mind just doing initials. I thought one of them had to be signed, that was all.
Yeah, oh, so it just says shares initials.
Oh, so you just missed it? Oh, that's fine. Just
No,
sign
no.
at the bottom. Look, you've missed it. Isn't it there?
Chairs initials.
Yeah. No one.
I'll sign the back one just in case.
Thank you.
Okay, for Madam Clerk. There's your pen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. There's your minutes.
Thank you.
So moving on to item 70, to receive a report from the clerk.
Regarding the calendar, we have the prize giving on Saturday the 12th of November with councillors Peter Howden, Sophie Hutchinson and Stephen Johnson in attendance, as well as two of the judges, Shireen Angus and Dave. The first, second and prize winners attended, had the photographs taken and everything. The prize money was paid into their account. Since then, we've been selling the calendars. Councillor Stevens and Hutchinson went to Tesco's last Monday, and Councillors Howden, Peter Howden and Sophie Hutchinson went on the Thursday. In total now we've sold 65 copies, which is going well. I think they're going to be sold again at the Christmas fair, are they?
I was there on Thursday as well.
Was you? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
bit doesn't
He
matter.
was the best seller.
Oh, I didn't realise you was attending Thursday. So
How
apologies for
many
that.
copies do we have in total?
150, I
It was
believe.
50,
Okay,
but two of those
Yeah.
was like duds, weren't they? So.
Yeah, and we've given some away, obviously.
Yeah.
All the local shops have given one, haven't
Yeah.
they?
That's good.
So we did a smaller run this year, just
Yeah.
in case.
Just to see how it went, and it went quite well, didn't it?
It
It's-
did, yeah. And we should have sold quite a few at the Christmas fair, I would
Yeah,
say.
it was quite a good laugh as well, actually.
And I also contacted the South Holland Internal Drainage Board regarding drainage maps, but they've not replied. I did contact a member of LCC, see if they've got an alternative one, but they've only got the same person I've contacted, but they are going to speak to somebody else to see if we can find another way. But maybe they'll reply, whether it's 4 or 6 weeks, I don't know. I'll keep you updated on that.
Lovely, thank you. Item 71, filming. The resolve to agree to purchase a camera set up for filming. Over to you two.
Yeah. I've looked at some cameras. Clive's also looked at some cameras. I suppose it depends on.
I mean, not precious about them at
No.
all. It's just really making sure that, I guess, whatever we get, we've got to get 5 or 6 items, haven't we?
Yeah.
The microphone, the
Mhm.
plastic surround and everything else. Are we using that tripod, or is that on the list of list as well?
Is that short tripod, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
So we should,
So probably
we should get one
get
of
one
those
as
as
well.
well.
Yeah.
And what about, remote control so that the camera swivels as well,
Yeah.
if need be,
Mhm.
depending on the size. So I didn't know whether we got a list of requirements or
Mhm.
you know, the one that you've chosen, you've already got those requirements documented.
Yeah.
So if so, the one you showed me though, I don't think had the mic.
No, so the one I found, I was looking at cameras that have an external mic input, so we can add a mic onto it.
Yeah.
It doesn't come with a mic.
Right.
Obviously your one's got the whole kit together.
I just googled it and
You just, yeah. The only thing is I didn't recognise the brand.
No.
So
I mean, it was just an example. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't suggesting that one at all.
Mhm.
But it was just one that came up
Yeah.
that was under that budget of £300.
Mhm.
That's all. So you know, by all means, go ahead with the one that you've chosen.
Mhm.
But I think it's a case of just where we're going to get the accessories from.
The accessories, yeah, we need to think about that. In terms of, because I looked at all the main brands for cameras. Sony do the cheapest one, which I believe is in the drive, is it not? But, yeah, from Argos, was it £250-ish?
No, 257.
257, obviously including that, we then don't have to pay that, so that's fine.
And then you've got the accessories on top.
Yeah.
It's a compatibility of those accessories, isn't it? So it's really just,
Mm.
if we can find somewhere that, with that camera, where you can buy those accessories as a bundle,
As a
that'd be
bundle,
great.
it'd be better, yeah.
But I haven't found anything yet. When I
Mhm.
go back and continue looking, it's
Yeah.
probably got.
Well, we've got to buy one, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the process once we've selected it? Do we have to then come back to full council to get approval? Or
Depends
just-
on the price.
we can just
If
do
it's
that?
under £500, we can do it ourselves
Fine.
within the committee. So, I mean, at the moment, we're going to be well under the 500
Yeah.
with the bits and pieces. There is a Sony mic that goes along with that, and I think it was £40.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
there'll be a lot of other ones that are compatible with it anyway. So.
Okay.
So as long as it comes in under £500, and
Mhm.
we've got the quotes, or the screen
Yeah.
prints, then personally I think we should just go ahead and buy it.
Cool. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's do that.
That makes sense.
Okay. So proposal is
To purchase the
camera.
camera
Yeah.
and any accessories required,
Yeah.
up to a maximum value of £500,
Mhm.
excluding VAT.
I think Argos stocked that camera. Don't believe Currys or PC World did.
Same company anyway.
Yes. Via the Sony store, it's actually more expensive.
Yeah, it would be.
It's more about 300 quid.
Yeah.
So,
Might be worth a quick look on Amazon as well to see if there's
Yeah.
any bundles on Amazon.
seriously.
Yes, indeed.
They
Yes.
normally have
Because they
everything.
did a lot of bundles. It's just the all the brands that were on there were
That's,
funny
yeah.
brands.
Yeah, that's right.
I read the reviews and some of them were good, some of them were
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
They'll all come with a year's warranty anyway, won't they?
Yeah.
So, and
Yes.
we'll know quite quickly, won't we, if it's like up to
Are there any camera shops that, I know one in Spalding, just opposite Boots, isn't there, but, or just down from Boots. But that's the only one I know of, really.
there isn't many camera shops anywhere anymore, is it?
No.
On the website, on Amazon, sorry, Asda's, no, Argos website, it says accessories, there is a tripod. It's recommended.
There's a
for
tripod.
that one.
Okay.
It's
£19. Previously I've got some camera equipment from online called Wex, W-E-X.
Okay.
That might be worth, I don't know whether they do video.
Yeah.
It's more-
There's also that guy from Dragon's Den, he brought, I can't remember the name of the camera chain, it was a chain of shops all around the country,
Mm-hmm.
and he brought them.
Oh, Jessop's.
Jessop's.
Yeah, when they went
Mhm.
bust, he bought
Yeah,
one.
so they're still online, Jessop's.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, generally, because Panasonic do other cameras, but the one that, the cheapest version that's got an external mic input, I don't think they sell anymore.
Okay.
It's not listed, so, and the Canon are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I was just thinking, go to a kind of a specialist like Jessop's
Mhm.
or Wex and say to them, these are our requirements,
Requirements.
so that we've got something in writing,
Mm-hmm.
that all the accessories are compatible,
Yeah.
rather than us having to,
To hunt
is
for.
that one the right one, or is
Yeah.
that the right one?
Yeah, I think that'd be worth.
Okay.
I've been caught out doing that stuff before.
Yeah.
Shall we do that then?
Yeah.
So the proposal is to spend up to £500, excluding that, on the camera and accessories that are required.
Cool.
Yep.
Stuff.
Propose.
Seconded. So.
All in favour?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Moving on. Item 72, HPC forums, to resolve to agree to recommend to full council amendments to the community engagement and communications policy to include aspects of Mablethorpe's public participation at meetings policy. No, Sophie and Jan have been looking at this. I don't know if you've read it, Clive.
I did, yes, and the highlighted items in yellow, so I've got no further comments to make on it.
Okay, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And the one bit I did notice was it did say something about carrying on using the notice board.
Yes. That's in a different bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know whether we were going to carry on using the notice board.
I don't think that's actually been updated since we got the digital one, to be honest,
Okay.
because it'll be before, it was May, April, May last time we updated it. But then notice board can mean digital or
Yeah.
physical.
I'm just thinking of Mr. Pot.
Yeah.
Or Poll, whatever his name is.
I think what we said we were going to do is put all the meeting dates in a physical notice board.
Yes.
So they're there all
Yeah.
the time, and then the
Mm.
agendas and everything else will go on the digital one because they're just too long, basically.
Yeah, I'm just aware that both of these do have trouble with the notice board.
Yeah.
It's not easy
I
to
can't
open.
open it myself because
I can't open the top one.
Definitely.
So, are we happy with that?
Yeah.
Do we need to propose it?
Propose it.
Second.
All in favour?
Yeah.
Moving on. Item 72, press releases A. To receive an update on press releases.
So, it's just what we've got going on. Sophia suggested at the last meeting that we do a kind of summary
That's what we've done in the
what
year.
we've done in the year and what we
Yeah.
plan to do next year. I think that'd be very good. I
Yeah.
think I've spoken about it with a couple of people before, whether when we've got the precepts sorted,
Yeah.
we can do a small leaflet, and I know the Voice, you can put leaflets in there, I think of £30 for 1,000,
Okay.
so it's not too bad. And I think maybe if we could kind of do maybe that could be the summary of what we've done this year and
And what we're doing
what
next year.
so double
Yeah.
sided maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
And get the word out there a
Okay.
bit better.
I'm happy with that. That's probably about it really now. Because we're getting towards the end of the year on events, aren't we? So,
That would include the 2023 events like car show, Christmas fairs,
Yeah.
and everything else.
Yeah.
it's a document.
I think our key projects that we're going to do, the events, the bits and pieces that people are actually interested in,
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than our day-to-day spending.
No, I agree. Yeah.
What about the chapels? Are we going to include the chapels on that?
I would, and say about turning it into a venue, etc., because
Yeah.
it's then used by the community, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
And there was an event at the community centre, I think yesterday, wasn't there? Kind of an arts and crafts.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
that
quite.
associated with us or not?
No, they run all of their own events at
Right.
the community centre. They do hire it out for different functions as well, but no, that's separate.
Would it be worth, I mean, I don't know how many events we've got going on next year, but would it be worth approaching some of these other people? So you get one view of whole beach, whatever's going on, you see it on a wall planner or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the big tasks I would like to do is trying to collate all the events that are going on,
Yeah,
because there's loads of different groups that are putting things on.
yeah.
Obviously, the digital screen we advertise as much as we can. But I know somebody previously said to me about having a calendar of events. Our website, they've told us don't use the calendar widget because it's terrible. It doesn't work. So that's our problem, because we could,
Use Facebook.
you could use Facebook, but there's different ones where you can, our calendar widget actually allows people to submit events. So if it would work,
Yeah.
and you could have a page on there with all the different things and people could just submit it, so we don't actually have to do the admin,
Yes.
it would make it so much easier.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think, you're talking about printing something here, I don't know what sort of size it is, but is that something people could put on their fridge?
yeah,
Is that sort of size, or?
yeah, it'd be probably like a little A5,
A5, isn't it? Yeah.
probably double-sided leaflet, something like that.
Or do we do something quarterly? These are the things. I don't
Yeah.
know. Again, it depends on the size of
And
the
how much,
document,
yeah,
how much it is.
and also
And
how
how
many
many
events you've got,
yeah.
because the amount of events you've got going on
Yes.
would fill it monthly probably, or
Yeah.
bi-monthly.
Exactly.
I suppose the only question we've got is, on our Facebook page, when it was originally done, it said that we were only going to post about council business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know which way we want to go with it, because we could turn our Facebook page into, sharing all community, so all different events and stuff that's going on, which would give it, but it depends.
And equally, some of these other associations might not want us to do it, so we'd have to be sensitive to that as well.
We would, yeah.
So,
But
well,
I
I think it might be worth approaching them to see
Mhm.
whether they'd be interested in collating everything in one view.
Yeah.
Certainly from, I think, a coordination perspective, when you come to
Mhm.
talk about volunteers and people doing stuff
Mhm.
in the town, road closures, etc., and what's going on,
Mm.
I just think it would be useful.
Mhm. I do.
Nothing to lose, have we?
Should we maybe put that as an agenda item for next meeting to
Yeah.
discuss that a bit more about how we could go about
Yeah.
collating stuff?
Yeah. Happy with that.
And maybe we could invite some of these people into a meeting, I don't know, and...
Mhm. We can invite people to our meetings.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
try and build it together.
Mhm.
And
We
their
can get
views
more
as
of an
to-
attitude, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Ex-Servicemen's Club,
Mhm.
they do time and things in there, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Community centre.
Sam, community centre, Sam at the pub,
Mhm.
because these are all
Time
doing
as well.
things. Yeah.
And see what they would like.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how we can
Just
work.
want to keep it simple.
Yeah.
This is the event, this is the date,
Yeah.
job done.
Mhm.
Goody goody.
That's a good idea.
Okay, item B, to resolve to agree a press release for the Village Voice. The next deadline is January the 5th.
I would probably say if we've got what we have done, what we do next year,
Yeah.
put together, we can send that in.
Yeah, that'd be ideal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So just so you're aware, Clive, Peter normally deals with the voice, doesn't
Yeah, it's probably
Village
St
Voice.
John's
he? Yeah.
do a village voice,
Okay.
so we always submit everything. Is it once a month or is it?
That's the freebie A5 that comes through the door
Mhm.
with all the ads in as well, isn't it, I think?
No,
Don't
that's a
minute.
different one.
Okay.
Yeah, they just do that as a community, I think. So
Yeah.
it's just a small little
Right.
book
Okay. Okay.
with bits and pieces, but we always pop something in
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
that's
to.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to bring something up, didn't you?
I do indeed, sir. Yeah, I mean, as you do, you have a few thoughts, don't you? Pop into your head and kind of obscure hours. Jan quite nicely shared with me the list of volunteers that we've got, and predominantly it's people of the committee and family,
Mhm.
and one or two others. I was thinking along the lines of, maybe how do we get more people involved? And I'm sure you've gone around this many times over the years. But my thought was using the Kitchener poster. Your parish needs you. And I found an app on the phone at the weekend. You just type in what you want, and basically you can download it. Very simple. So there was that idea. You could probably put that out on social media or something. Print it off, stick it around the few of the shops if they're willing to do so. Second thought along that was to really say how many volunteers we need for each event.
Mhm.
So for the car show, do we need 20 people? Do we need 10 people? I don't know. This weekend we're covered. But what is the optimum number?
Yeah.
Could we have done with 2 or 3 more? We probably need 2 or 3 more in case there's any dropouts at the
I
last
think
minute.
the answer to that is to go to the chair of events and
Mhm.
just get them to give us a rough idea of how many volunteers are
Need.
needed for each event,
Mhm.
Yes.
and then work on that.
And I was thinking then, okay, taking it a step further is then tying it in with this calendar, so that when an event is approaching, You know, you put the Kitchener poster out there and you say we need so many volunteers from the community to participate in this particular event. And maybe you do it, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks before the event comes up. To see what return we get.
Yeah.
You know, people are fickle. We know that. You know, you can put a picture out there and of stuff done that's recently maybe in the high street, and you'll get a list of positive and negative responses on that particular post. But why don't those people get involved in the community a little bit more?
I know what you're saying, but as far as they're concerned, it's easier to moan than join.
Well, exactly.
Unfortunately.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So,
but they won't achieve anything by moaning. They need to get off the bums and get on the council.
I don't disagree with you. So this is like giving people the opportunity to join
Yeah.
or to participate in some
To
way.
help out in whatever way they can.
To help out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
But
it's-
maybe not be committed.
Yeah, that's right. They
Yeah.
can dip in and dip out
Yeah.
as they see fit.
Yeah.
But it's
They'll
rather...
need to be registered though with us
Yeah.
to cover them on the insurance policy.
Yeah.
But then it's over communicating to
Mhm.
them so that not that to prevent comeback at all, but to give everybody the opportunity to participate.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Mhm.
And that was that. Thank you very much.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think looking at this kind of calendar of events, trying to collate things, but then also specifying how many volunteers we need, popping out that poster before events as well would be a good idea. Because I think people just think it's going to happen. They don't necessarily think
That's
we
right.
need people.
Yes.
So if we actually say we need this number of people, then
Yeah.
you might get, even if you only get 2 or 3, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And we don't have an official photographer either, do we?
no, we've got there's somebody in the community that comes to pretty much every event we do and takes photographs,
Right.
but he doesn't do it professionally anymore. He just does it as a hobby. But he's very good.
Yeah.
And then we do normally invite the press along to events to take photographs as well.
Yes, because I've seen on Facebook this guy that does aerial photography, he's got the drone and everything else. But you know, you could enlist potentially the people that participate, the top 3 people that participated in the calendar competition, something like that. Would they be available? You know, if you had 3 men, one of which could cover this weekend. Car show, any other events, you could draw down upon those resources, and I'm sure they'd be willing to do it. Obviously, I'm not sure, you know, they would have to do it free of charge, but it would give them an opportunity, I think, to field their photography on social media. I guess we'd do it then.
Yeah, because then we can put their name to it and say they took a photo.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd be happy with that. More than happy.
And is that events as well?
Well, it depends. I think if we can discuss that next meeting, because it depends. We've probably not got time to do it for Christmas,
No, sure.
but our next one's coming up will be enough time to plan all of these sort of things, like asking for volunteers, getting the photographers. We can do that in between events and PR, mixing it together. It's fine.
Yeah, should PR and events be joined, or have you thought
Well,
about
that is a question.
That is a good question.
Because there-
Probably the
there-
right answer
there's
is
some
probably yes.
synergies there, and
Mhm.
maybe IT
There are.
and finance should probably go together, should they not?
Well, we have a representative on each committee that is on the finance committee.
I mean, I think you're talking about kind of a reshuffle next year, so
Yeah.
it's one
Yeah.
then, but
So, yeah, probably we'll think about that and then see what we want.
I mean, it's certainly worth considering.
It is
The only objection I would have is that you get the same people
doing the same things.
doing the same things all year round, because some of the councillors just don't want to help, do they? Unfortunately. And some of them haven't got the time to commit themselves to help either.
No,
Because they're still working.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, one for June now, mull over.
Yeah.
But I think it's, again, I think in PR and events, just, we're talking about stuff here that's probably event related,
Yeah,
The joins up quite well.
and joins up
Yeah.
well with PR.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
They're both achieving the same goal. aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
So it's certainly worth looking at, isn't it?
Yeah.
Combining PR with the events.
Mhm.
You only need one chairman then, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You would.
And IT would be a piece of cake.
Mhm.
Okay, we're happy with all that then?
Yes, indeed.
While we're talking about press releases, I don't know if we want to publicise that the CCTV equipment
Mhm.
has arrived,
That's it.
apart from the polls.
Mhm.
Polls are due in back end of this week, Steve said this morning.
Do we know when it's going to be installed? Because I think it'd be good once it's installed to do a press release to say we now
Yeah.
have.
We do, he's hoping, Steve this is,
Yeah.
he's hoping to have all the cabling and the poles installed by Christmas
Right.
at the
Okay.
latest. And then the cameras might be just after Christmas, but he
Mhm.
said they won't take long to.
I haven't had
Good.
much to do with CCTV apart from in retail stores and stuff like that. But the big challenge was to get a camera that can capture somebody's face clearly,
Yeah.
whether that be at night or whether it be during the day
Mhm.
during
Yeah,
a shoplifting episode.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So my only question would be, how have we validated the clarity
yeah.
Mhm.
of facial capture?
Yeah.
Depends on how far you want the camera to go, doesn't it?
I
Because,
think most of our ones will do a general view.
yeah,
And we did have a meeting with somebody from the police before we installed it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And they said that, it's probably going to be a general view, you're not going to be able to see faces.
Right.
However, if you can pick up, because it's all going to be colour, including at night,
Mm-hmm.
which means they can pick up the colour of the clothing, and then they most often will travel to Tesco or somewhere else at the same time, and then they can recognise them
Mm.
on another set of cameras
Right.
in the town.
Yeah. I mean, invariably somebody's going to be wearing a black hoodie,
So, mhm.
more than
that's
likely.
right,
Yeah.
and jeans,
Mm.
trainers.
But it's gonna be a deterrent at least, isn't it?
Mhm.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the groups involved are known to the police and identifiable anyway, so
Is
they
there,
can
any,
kind of work out.
is there any signage to help that deterrent?
We've got it in the.
We've got
Alright,
some old
cemetery.
signage,
Sophia said he was gonna look, because,
but we need to get some new signage
Yeah.
because it's not up to date. It's
Right.
from when we used to have
yeah,
cameras.
Sophia did say, because he works for a CCTV company, that
Okay.
he could advise us on what signs to get and where
Yeah.
to get them from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, unfortunately, he's not here today,
Mhm.
but we can drop him an email and
Yeah.
ask him.
Yeah.
Go on now. Could I leave that with you, Karen?
Just send them an email.
Ask him what signage we need to go into Castle
Yeah.
Park.
Because then we can get that ordered and ready to put up for
Yeah.
when the CCTV is actionable.
Yeah.
And the company that's putting them up, presumably they've done some sort of aerial view and they've got the strategic places to position all of these.
I walked around with
cameras.
them this morning.
Oh, did you?
Mhm.
I
Okay.
told them where we want the poles to go,
Yeah.
because we're only having 3
We've
poles.
got professional CCTV companies to quote,
Yeah.
but then unfortunately most of them pulled out,
Yeah.
didn't they?
One we gave the contract to pulled out
Mhm.
after he was awarded the
But
contract.
they've done a plan of where they were going
Yeah.
to put all the cameras.
Yeah.
So we've got an electrician to install the cameras, and then Sophia's going to help making sure it's all wired up properly because he trains CCTV engineers. So
Yeah. So we're starting off with
yeah,
6 or 7 cameras, 6 cameras? I don't remember.
yeah. I think more than that.
7 then.
Yeah.
So we're going to cover most of Carter's Park,
That's cool.
but
That's good.
the system is upgradable so that we can end up
Mhm.
with 20 cameras if we want it.
So I'm
So
not
we have-
disputing the need for them, but
Mhm.
how are we going to explain it to the public? What's the
What's the reason for doing it?
communicative benefit?
To stop antisocial behaviour is one of the main ones.
Yeah, female safety or
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
But there was an incident wasn't there, earlier in the summer where a young gentleman with
Mm.
learning disabilities was sexually assaulted in the bar.
We've had a summer where we've had a lot of antisocial behaviour, and
And it's costing us money.
yeah.
Well, in
And
that
there's-
case didn't.
There's
but
been a lot of
otherwise
cases where we've had to call the police, and then obviously by the time they come, they're gone.
Yeah.
So if it's on CCTV, it's a lot easier for them
Yeah, yeah.
to action. And then obviously the park is quite split up, so
Yeah.
you can't see all areas.
No.
No.
So having eyes and ears,
Yeah.
even if it just helps us identify what's actually happened and vaguely who it might be or what
Yeah.
time of day or anything like that, it's better than waking up in the morning and finding out a bench has been burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Does it trip an alarm, this CCTV,
No.
if you want to?
No.
No?
but we can have it so it's, I think it, no,
Okay,
it is
dongle, so
motion,
please, so
yeah, it's
it's motion detectable,
motion
isn't it?
detectable, and we can set it up so it will go onto people's phones.
Yes,
So then if it detects motion after a certain time, it
Yes.
will,
we'll do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll ping Jan
Yes.
every half an hour.
Yeah, probably will, won't it?
yeah,
I mean, multiple people can download the app,
Yes.
put it on their tablets or phones. He did say this morning we need to get a dongle,
yeah.
which Safia didn't design.
Oh no, yeah, you will, because
But we
you,
need a dongle,
yeah, if we haven't bought the 4G router, then you need a,
Yeah.
or you just buy a 4G router.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So where do we communicate it to the public then?
I think it needs to
We've
be,
got this, is it a local newspaper, local something, free press?
Yeah,
free press, yeah.
we normally do all of our press articles to Spalding Today, which is Free Press, and the Spalding Guardian,
Yeah,
and the Spalding Voice.
yeah.
Um,
And then we stick it on the spotted always presumably
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah,
else,
yeah.
yeah.
Both Spies Old Beaches
so I think
and
doing
the
a,
Parish Council website.
Yeah.
Parish Council Facebook page.
Mhm, yeah,
Yeah,
that's where we normally pop all of
yeah.
our,
And we could also put that down as our achievements for the year as well.
yeah,
Yes.
So we've gone out and brought it.
yeah,
Yeah.
which then it can go on the little leaflet,
Yeah.
which will go out to people
Yeah.
to get a wider
But if you
audience.
go on and fill the leaflet up top to bottom,
No,
because people get bored
No,
of it.
agreed.
So,
Just highlighting.
when
what
would our
we've done.
next meeting be?
Oh, for IT.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about this leaflet, deciding exactly what's going to go on it and getting it all sorted.
I don't know. I'll ask Madam Clark. She can slot us in
We'll
somehow.
have another one before Christmas, won't we?
What, another,
Will we not?
PR and
I don't
IT. I don't think there's anything in the calendar, is there?
right, let me have a look.
Neither of them are doing anything Christmas Day afternoon, so
No.
save you watching
I
that.
might not, we might not be available.
You say
I'll
that.
still be handing all my presents.
Really?
Well, it's Boxing Day
Just spray
actually.
out.
Well, when you open your presents.
No, you could have one on the 19th, Monday the 19th.
Mhm. Well, if not, I mean, we can, because do we need to agree, or should we agree to do that at full council? To spend the money and get the leaflets done? And then we can just decide on what's going to go on it via
I
email?
don't think you're going to spend more than £500 on leaflets, are we?
No, but
So does it
just
need
thinking of time
full
scales.
approval?
Yeah. Yeah, but if you put it on full council,
It gets done sooner.
it gets
Okay.
done sooner, you
Okay.
don't have to have a meeting.
We're not full council then?
Yeah. And then we can just,
Poor Karen's crossing out right.
sorry, I just, if we agree the spend at full council,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's done.
Yes.
And then we don't have to have a meeting to agree it, we
Yeah.
can just do it via email
Yes.
and
Yeah.
get it all sorted.
Yeah. And if you know, if you do just a couple of thousand leaflets,
Yes.
you can do that more than once a year, couldn't we?
Yeah, that's the thing,
Could
if
do
it
an update
works,
and
Yeah, indeed.
and it, yeah.
And presumably you can agree that at events as well,
Mhm.
so that when it comes to full
Yeah.
council, we just
Yeah.
go through.
Sophie's got a very good lead to the chairman of the events committee.
All right?
It's my mum.
So, okay. So we've got the press release agreed then, haven't
Yeah.
we? In effect.
Sorry, just one more question on that. Do we have a number of, maybe from the police, the number of incidents that have occurred in and around
Mhm.
Carter's Park
That would be
So-
a good idea. I can ask for
Just-
that.
to help sell
Yeah.
the installation of CCTV?
Mhm.
And it's with done on their advice as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we've
Because they did
consulted
say
with the
what
police.
we should have.
That's good. So that's
Yeah.
worth,
Yeah.
yeah, we should worth, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if we can get a number, that'll be useful.
yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
They did suggest that park staff wear cameras, didn't they?
Body cameras, but they're expensive.
Yeah, proper ones are.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we vote on that, did we?
No, I don't think so.
Proposer?
Right.
Second?
Thank you very much. Item 73, budget for 23-24. Not a lot, as you can see. So the phone and broadband, next year we're looking at £600.
Mhm.
That should cover us, I believe.
Yeah.
You've done quotes on that with Sky, haven't you?
Mhm.
IT equipment, which stuck £1,000 in just in case. We do need to upgrade Karen's laptop with some more memory. Henry's capable of doing that.
How long do you normally keep your assets for? You know, I know you probably sweat your asset.
Both of these are quite new, aren't they?
That's cool.
Mine
Yeah.
is
Yours is the
only
oldest.
2 years
2 years.
old.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I would say between 2 and 3 years on
Yeah,
that, for example.
exactly. Yeah.
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 Yeah, February 20.
I think yours is better because yours has got 8 gig of RAM,
Yeah.
Karen's hasn't.
So they've upgraded Karen's to 8 gig. Sophia said he could do it, didn't he?
Yeah.
If not, then we'll just have to go somewhere to get it done. Shouldn't be hard, should it?
No.
And then perhaps look next year, putting money into a new laptop for the Jan.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what the £500 is for that we put?
Yeah, because we're doing £1,000 and
Plus
then
£500
500 of which will go into mobile reserves.
Yeah. So it will be
So
there if yours starts playing up more than it does.
It'll be there.
It's
Yeah.
right at the moment,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Fine.
Okay, moving on then, the email and software licenses. That's £3,500.
Mhm.
That's for Outlook and Office 365.
Yeah.
Who do we go to for that, or do we just buy it off credit card or straight off Microsoft?
We buy it straight off Microsoft.
Fine.
Yeah.
So there's no overall. I mean, take charities for example.
Mhm.
You go to Microsoft and you get a charity discount. Something like 25.
Wow.
It can be a significant
I
percentage.
don't know if they do anything for councils, because they do for students.
That's the problem. We don't fit into the nice category of charity
No,
I
agree.
for most places.
There was a council umbrella
Mhm.
with Microsoft at all.
Might be worth having
And look,
a look and see.
anything that saves money is good.
That is budgeting for if we have 18 councillors for the whole 12 months. So we don't actually buy the licences unless we need them.
No,
So
fine.
most of the time we're not spending that much money,
No.
unfortunately.
And then SharePoint, is that a free or is that?
Yeah,
SharePoint's free, isn't it?
yeah, we do the business basic licence for councillors
Yes.
and the standard one for Jan and Karen, so they get all the Microsoft apps downloaded.
Yeah. Channel, I want front page to come back,
Yes.
because we prefer front page to SharePoint.
Is it?
WYSIWYG, isn't it? Easier to use.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on.
That also includes the licence for Realtas as
Yeah.
well and the software for the wages programme.
So Realtus is our accounting software that we've
Yeah.
only just adopted this year.
Mhm.
Anyway.
So who do we use with the accountants then? Who's our accountants? Well, we don't.
We don't.
We don't.
No.
So I'm the
Jack.
RFO, which is responsible financial office of the council, and we have an internal auditor who's
Right.
not internal, he's
External.
external.
Yeah.
But that's and that's being done at the moment. But that's not just the accounts. That's
It's everything.
across all the council processes.
Mhm.
Right.
And then government appoints an external auditor,
Right.
who we don't know is going to be for next year, but it has been a company in London for the last 3 years, and they do all that. So we don't have
We sign up to
an
their scheme,
accountant.
don't
Yeah,
we?
we sign
And
up to
they
the scheme.
appoint
Okay.
an auditor on our behalf.
And is that the same from an IT security perspective as well? I mean, who comes and tests, pen tests, sites, penetration tests the site? I mean, it's a
We-
council site, district
Mm.
council site, isn't it? So they.
Oh, well,
No.
the website.
Yeah, county site.
Yeah, so they would deal with
They
all
should
of that side of
be
things.
tested on that, shouldn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, because we just use it from there.
Yeah. we
Okay.
get it all for free from them, so.
And then Wi-Fi in this building, the bleed of Wi-Fi out into
Mhm.
the street. It's just, I guess, checking what the passwords,
Mhm.
are
Yeah.
secured.
Need to be reviewed on a regular basis, don't
But exactly.
Yeah.
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 At the moment, we've got Wi-Fi in the building,
Yes.
but it doesn't always stretch down to here, does
It's
it? Depending
working
on the
brilliant
weather.
now. I'm working while you're talking, and
Yeah.
it's working absolutely fine.
Yeah,
But
because
on another day, it
None
won't
could get
work
on.
at all.
We
You
need-
couldn't get on. No.
we need to get a better Wi-Fi booster because that one is not actually a booster. It's a 4G backup.
Yeah.
So,
Which is expensive.
which is expensive. Yeah, we don't need to pay for it.
Those round BT boosters you get for
Yes.
home, they're brilliant.
Yeah, you can buy them
Yeah.
from PC World or wherever.
Yeah, you can buy them direct from BT.
Yeah,
Or eBay, I've got a pair at home.
I think having one of them would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that can come out of the
Okay.
IT money.
Alright, moving on then. CCTV budget for next year. Obviously, if we want to add any more cameras into Cutler Park, which we probably will, and we were going to do this year, Clive, the chapels in Park Road Cemetery,
Right.
because of time delays, not so much the cost, but time delays and getting people to do it for us.
Yeah.
We thought push back till next year.
And also
Yes.
we need listed building consent
Yeah.
Right.
in order to be able to put it up.
To do
Yeah,
that.
and we're not 100% sure how we want it yet, are we?
No, Sophia is, he said he's got other options of whether we would want the 4G cameras, so they could be not actually wired into the building and then they could look at the building rather
Yeah.
than being on the building looking
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Which
So
would mean more poles.
he thought 3.5 is ample for what we
Yeah.
want to do, but we're
Yeah.
going to look at the scheme to see what we're actually going to plan out.
And then we've got cameras elsewhere in town, haven't we? By the
Mm-hmm.
Not
traffic
ours.
lights. And they're
Not
not
ours.
ours.
No, that's the
That
South London District Council scheme, and I think previously we did pay into it. I think, but I think it's controlled from a hub in Boston.
Okay.
So
And from a kind of not so necessarily a security perspective, do we have to apply to put these cameras up? Because invasion of privacy and all that sort of stuff. So taking the kind of flip side of it, yes, cameras are great, but are there individuals out there that would complain about cameras?
Well, we spoke to the police, didn't we? About that
you
sergeant,
have to do a data impact assessment,
Yeah,
and as long as you've got reason to do it. So
yeah,
because we've had such a lot of antisocial behaviour both in the cemetery and in the park, your reason is for I think it's crime detection and
Yeah.
prevention.
Right,
So as
yeah.
long as you can justify your reasons for having it,
Yeah.
then it's fine and you have
Yeah.
the appropriate signage up,
yeah.
etc.
And all these cameras will meet the regulations of
Yeah, but before we do it, we'll just have to fill out a data impact assessment
Yeah.
to prove that and log it all down.
Yeah, it's just convincing those individuals out there that are, you're invading my privacy. I don't
Yeah.
want to be.
Oh, it's a public place, so as far as the law is concerned, we can film in there,
Yes.
as long as we
I think
give
the
everybody reason
cemetery
to do
we're
it.
going to have to be sensitive
Yes.
with.
Oh, yeah,
I
definitely.
think as long as you stick it around the chapels and it's not, because it won't be near any of the new graves of people who are actually visiting.
Yes.
But the reason for it being near the chapels is if we're going to start using it and renovating them,
Yes.
if you get any damage, we want to be able to
Yeah.
catch the culprits rather than just
Yeah,
do more
indeed.
damage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I
if
think
you
that
sit-
might
if you-
be.
If you're sitting on the park on a Sunday, and I don't know, got a bottle of wine, a few sandwiches, and you just spot a camera up, and you think, oh, somebody's watching it. And
Yeah, got to pull the trousers back
Sorry, I wasn't taking it that far.
Yeah,
up.
I
I was
think
just thinking of all, okay.
Oh, well, I disagree. Yeah.
we've considered where we're going to put them so that they're far enough away that they probably won't be invading anybody's privacy.
No.
Yeah.
But they will catch the main routes in and out and the main
Yeah.
areas of the
Yeah.
park,
Yeah.
so that if anything happens, you can fairly well identify who's done it, what
Yes,
times,
yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
And then that will obviously help the police
Mm.
immensely
Yeah.
find who's done it.
Who manages the security of our filming and the data that we take
Mhm.
from those cameras? Because obviously legally we've got to
Yeah,
adhere to certain regulations there.
yeah.
I
So,
would imagine it probably all comes down to Madam Clark as
Yeah.
his responsible
it comes
officer.
in under the data protection, but
Yeah.
the
It's
idea,
ICO,
yeah.
Information Commissioner's
Yeah.
Office,
Um,
who has access to it,
mhm.
and the procedures of having access to it. And then if a member of the public says, I believe I was filmed, and wants to write in to the council to say, please delete,
They have a right to do
they
it.
have a
Yeah,
right
yeah.
to do that.
We are having a hard drive, aren't we, to
Yes.
store it within the pavilion. It
Yes.
will be in a locked cabinet.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No, we've changed. You know where they keep the. I'll bring this up in a minute. Sorry.
Okay.
'cause
I think personally it should be in a locked cabinet and the key should be in the office
Mm.
so that the parks team then don't have access to
Mhm.
that data.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The clerk and the deputy clerk will have access to it to be able to monitor it. We'll have to agree who has access to the
Yeah.
to be able to view it
I think
online.
we need to sort of keep it limited, don't we?
And then you just need to agree how often you're deleting that data on the hard drive.
Yeah.
The rest of it will be in the cloud. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
easy
I'd
to.
imagine probably every 30 days,
Yeah.
unless
So
we've had anti
that will be part of your data impact assessment, where
Yeah.
you decide who has access to it, how you're going to remove it, what if somebody wants it deleted, etc.
Yeah.
Which that's part obviously of our data protection policy
Yeah.
about erasing data, etc. So
Who's our data protection officer?
we don't have a data protection
Okay.
officer, because I can't remember. I'm sure that was a conversation we had with Lau quite a few years ago about who can do it. The only appropriate person I would suggest is Jan as clerk.
I think I've put that in documents that it's me.
Yeah, but we haven't actually appointed a data protection
No.
officer. It's difficult because you haven't got that many staff who are able to,
Yeah, agree.
and councillors can't be.
So logically it can only be Jan or Karen.
Yeah,
There's nobody else it can be.
no.
And with the ICO, somebody needs to be registered as that focal point of contact.
Yeah.
And I presume that's Jan.
Yeah.
Jan's the main point of contact, and if there's a data breach, I as chair of HR, data protection, etc., contact as well. So if there's an incident, then I put myself and Jan as the point of contact in case they can't get hold of one of us.
Good.
So.
Right, sorry for going a little.
No,
Sorry.
that's all right.
Moving on to the last one is the calendar. £500 budget for next year. It's been quite successful so far, the calendar. But we have had quite a few people say that the boxes aren't big enough to write in. So we sort of discussed about doing it, swinging it around. If that makes sense.
Was it A4 at the moment?
It's A4 at the moment,
It's
yeah.
A4, but it's half of it's a picture and half of it's
Portrait, yeah.
yeah, so it's portrait. So if you flipped it the other way around and had a picture on one side
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, because people like to be able to write things on it.
Mm.
So we can do that next year.
Yeah.
Don't know how much extra it will cost, if anything, but
but 500 quid would be out.
yeah, yeah.
Because then you're recouping your money by selling it anyway. So
Yeah.
And why did we do it?
Well, we did it as a one-off this year.
it was an idea. We did have a councillor who's part of the photography club at Long Sutton.
Oh yeah.
And they came up with the idea of doing a calendar because we're one of the only towns in the area that doesn't
That don't.
have one.
Yes.
And a lot of people take loads of photos, put
Yeah.
on Spotted Hole Beach,
They do.
etc.
Mm.
So again, it's encouraging a bit more participation
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the community.
Yeah.
And
It
those
also
people,
brings a little bit of money in as well.
yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of thought I had was obviously being into photography as well, but there's a lot of artists as well, aren't there? You know,
Mhm.
watercolours or oils or whatever. Again, it's probably crossover with events, but it might be good to have, you know, photography come
Mhm.
painted show
yeah,
at
Good
some
idea.
stage throughout the year.
Well, you've got Carter's Park, haven't you? Be
Yes.
ideal for the summer, wouldn't it?
hmm
Kind of like an
You
art
can
show.
put it
local
outside,
art.
put it in the community centre or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Mhm, yeah.
You know, is there an old building that we could use to you know, people could just walk around as
Yeah,
an
yeah.
Mhm.
impromptu gallery or something like
Yeah.
that? I think that would generate a fair bit of interest.
Mm.
yeah,
And then also kind of photography competitions over the year, you know.
Well, last year's, or this year's calendar was on the back of a
Was it
Competition.
yeah. It was a
competition
photography
as well, was
competition.
it?
So yeah,
You know, churches
hmm
in the area, there's hundreds of churches.
Yeah,
you know.
we have discussed. I know some of the judges suggested having a theme for next year's calendar.
Yeah.
Somebody
and
said the
doing that.
riverways of Old Beach, didn't they?
Yeah, the waterway of
The
Hull Beach.
waterways of Old Beach, that was Tesco Day, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know what waterways we've got in Old Beach apart from the old Old Beach River
Well, it's all
and the
good.
sinkhole.
Yeah.
So you just take a picture of the road, don't you?
Yeah.
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 The flooded puddles.
But yeah, kind of things like that, I think, would generate a bit more kind of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it'd be quite nice to do like one for wildlife of Whole Beach, perhaps,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of different
There is.
wildlife here. It's not just ducks, is it?
Yeah.
Pigeons with one leg, and they've got that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it comes. We could do one
Well, I
year,
think-
couldn't
Again, next meeting probably discuss the calendar
we? Yeah.
because we need to start working on that soon so people have got enough time to take
Yeah.
photos throughout the
For
year.
January, yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And we'd
That's right.
probably like to start selling it a bit sooner.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Because a
if
lot of people
we
did say they've already bought one this year.
advertise, start deciding what we're going to do and advertise that again after our next meeting
Yeah.
in the new year.
Maybe watercolours on oil, on canvas paintings, maybe
Yeah.
plan for a show or
Well,
something.
you've got two artists here. Yeah, because you do art, don't you?
Oh, do you? Right, okay.
Yeah. I've always been known as a biz artist, so I can do
Well, there you
it.
go. I'm sure you're-
Yeah.
Well, that's what you meant.
And, sorry. Jeff Capes obviously lived or lives in the village or whatever.
I believe he has the job.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I remember him when he was a bobby in Peterborough. We
Really?
didn't angle with him
No,
as a kid.
not there.
No chance.
Have we got any other famous people? close?
Dead people.
Well, I was thinking about getting these individuals to present prizes and
Mhm.
stuff like
But
that.
that's why we used the vicar and ex-Tesco's Dave, as he was, because he was voted the best person in Holbeach when he won the
Yeah.
One
Well,
of the suggestions, sorry, am I allowed to speak?
Yes.
One of the suggestions of the judges was to ask the press of like Spalding to be a day working with them and go behind the scenes as one of the prizes.
Yeah, so like the photographers for the local
Oh,
newspapers to kind
That's
of,
cool.
one of the prizes is working with them,
Good idea.
which I think would work quite
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, any kind of, not big celebs, kind of lower celebs that would either do something free
Mhm.
of charge, I don't know, present prizes to the
Yeah.
car show or whatever else we're doing,
Mhm.
but I don't know who is in the.
I'm not sure what famous people live in Holbeach.
I know on
you
the
know.
mural you've got different Olympians. I
Okay.
think there's a couple of cyclists on there
Is it?
that come from Holwich.
Okay.
Any TV personalities we could get?
I'm
Not
not
ones that we
sure.
want to talk about.
I will ask my mum because she will know
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
She knows everybody and everybody.
So we need to vote on the budgets
Mhm.
to go to the
Do
finance
we need,
committee.
sorry, do we need something for trophies in here? Because the trophies that were given at the car show
Mhm.
presumably came out of some sort of
Okay.
budget.
They
out of the
come out of
events
the events budget.
Okay.
So in terms of anything of the calendar or anything else that we want to do next year,
All comes out then.
it all comes out of, well, it will come out of that £400
Yeah.
extra.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll show that now.
That's okay. So can we have a proposer to recommend the budget to the finance committee, please?
I propose.
I'll second.
We've got two of the finance committee here anyway.
Yeah.
Right, item 74, we confirm the date and venue of the next PR&IT committee meeting. Venue and date,
Mhm.
so the venue will be here.
So it's just, do we want to go after Christmas?
I think personally before.
Before?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got a full council, so you've got full council on the 12th.
Mhm. I mean, we could go the week of full council if you wanted to get it in
Yeah.
sooner.
Get the leaflets sorted then at least, can we?
Yeah, because it's
Mhm.
getting the leaflets sorted and bits and pieces ready
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the
It's
new
just
year.
about the Thursday before full council. Is there anything in the
We
diary?
mean on the week of full council,
The week of full council, so you mean, do you mean the 15th?
15th.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing in.
15th works for
Monday.
me,
Yeah.
if I'm here, obviously.
Mhm.
15?
15th,
Mhm.
what sort of time? We do like daytime ones, don't we?
You
Yeah,
might have
after.
another councillor by that point.
Oh, we? Okay.
Yeah, but Charles works, so
Oh, yeah.
I know he was wanting to join PR.
So this is a fair.
Yes. So we can set, if we set a time, and then depending on who joins at the next meeting, we might need to just adjust it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm out at 7, but I can delay that till 7:30, that's not a problem. As long as I know.
We do a late afternoon, they might be able to do work early depending on
If
what
need
they
be,
Yeah.
I'll do it, so don't worry.
Yeah, so if not, we can.
Okay, right. With my magic hammer.
So what time?
What time?
Okay.
3, 2:30, 2,
Well,
Go for 3, shall I?
Yeah, say 3.
3,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
15th.
I'll call the meeting closed then. Thank you for your input, everybody.